Happy Friday. I'm back with another Fridays 45. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but I'm going to try to make it through. And so we're going to do Otis Redding today, and we're going to do Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. This song is the song that got me into Otis Redding, and of course, and I'm a big Otis Redding fan. I own a lot of records of his. So I wanted to dig deeper into Sitting on the Dock of the Bay this week and talk a little bit about it. I think to start, with the whole Volt Records, we need to go back to 1962. Otis Redding was actually a manager, singer slash driver for a group called Johnny Jenkins and the Pine Toppers, and they were in Stax Records, and they were recording just instrumentals, and Otis was in the corner, and he was noticed by Steve Cropper, and Otis was like, I want to try to sing something. He's like, why not? Let's give it a try. Otis got up and he sang These Arms of Mine, and 800,000 copies later, the relationship was born. And so Steve Cropper, we're going to talk about a little bit in this story. But so Steve Cropper was actually the guitarist in Stax. He was the studio guitarist. He was actually one of the founding members of Booker T and the MGs. He did a lot of contributions. He's the A&R guy for Stax Records. He was actually also a blues brother. Imagine that. And he actually contributed to a lot of artists, just like Alan Rubin did, of the Blues Brothers that we talked a few weeks ago. Anyone from Alabama to Neil Young, you'll see his list, and you should check it out sometime. But Steve Cropper comes into this story quite a bit as well. So 1966, December. Otis Redding did a few shows at the Fillmore West. He built a relationship with Bill Graham. Bill Graham offers him his houseboat in Waldo Point Harbor in Sausalito, California. Now, this is where the idea for Dock of the Bay was inspired. He was actually on Bill Graham's houseboat. The timing's not exactly pinpointed, but I'm figuring it around August, before the Monterey Festival, which he did that September, but after his European tour, which he did in March in '67. So sometime between there is when he kind of sparked the Dock of the Bay idea. So Otis, takes this song back to Stax Records in Memphis, and he and Steve Cropper go and they co-write this song. Otis didn't like to write about himself, but Cropper put these lyrics in. When he talks about making his way from Georgia to the Frisco Bay. And you always imagine that you could see the Golden Gate Bridge, but from Waldo Point Harbor, you can't see the bridge. But those two got together, and then two sessions, November 22nd of '67 and December 7th. This again, the dates are sketchy. Some people say December 8th. But this is just a few days before Otis Redding was killed in a plane crash. On December 10th, Sunday, December 10th, he was killed. But actually, that Monday, Jerry Wexler from Atlantic Records is calling them, and he's like, "Listen, we need to get something out. We want to get something out. Do you have anything?" And so they called Steve Cropper, who had been working on some of these sessions with Otis Redding, and he's like, "I don't have anything." He's like, "Well." That Tuesday he went in and spent 24 hours finishing Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. He adding voices. The whistling part, there's some apparently there were some ideas that they were going to get the Staple Sisters in to do some backgrounds, but they never ended up doing that because they had to get this out so fast. Volt Records, which is interesting. I know it says Volt and it's Stax Records, but Volt is a subsidiary of Stax. It became the rhythm and blues portion of Stax Records. So you'll see a lot of Otis Redding's records out on Volt Records. So just days after, a couple days after, they get this record sent up to New York, and before you know it, DJs are playing it, and January 8th, the single comes out that quick. It is the first posthumous number one hit ever on the pop charts. This is the first. So just a great song. A great song that I love, and it inspired me to dig in a little bit more to Otis Redding. I actually have quite a few of his records. One thing I would buy of his and listen to is his show at the Monterey Music Festival. It was unbelievable. He goes from Shake to Respect to Try a Little Tenderness, but he goes to I've Been Loving You, and then he goes into Satisfaction and Try a Little Tenderness. So he does 5 songs, and I think he was going through a moment at this time when he went into Stax Studio. He wanted to change his sound a little bit and start reaching more people out there. He definitely had influences from Bob Dylan and even the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's the album that came out that May. He said he was inspired by as well. So the Dock of the Bay sessions. I've got the record. It's excellent. This is the record. If you ever get a chance, download it, listen to it. It's excellent work. Amen's on there. Of course, Dock of the Bay is on there. Just some of the Happy Song, Hard to Handle's on here as well. So all these were being done around the same time as Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. And then the Monterey Pop Festival, there's another one. On one side is Otis, on the other side is Jimi Hendrix. So check those out if you get a chance. There's been a lot of remakes of this. One I did want to mention is the Dells on the Dock of the Bay. It's put out by Cadet Records, which is a subsidiary of Chess Records. And it's by the Dells, and a great version. I really enjoy it. I enjoy the piano in this. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot, but not as much as Otis's, of course. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put Otis's link on the top, and I'll probably put this link in the comments so you can check out the Dells version as well. They're both really cool. But take some time this weekend and enjoy a couple great ones that go in my jukebox. And my question this week is actually, this was the posthumous number one hit. What was the second one posthumous number one hit to come across? And it wasn't too long after this one. So go ahead and answer in the comments. Tell me what you think about Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, what thoughts it brings up. I'd love to hear from you. And have a great weekend, and I will see you on the flip side.